All right. Hello, Home Service Pros. Welcome to the Battle Plan Marketing Podcast, episode number 122. Today, we've got a special guest on the show, Mr. Brandon Saiz of NCB Mechanical, November Charlie Bravo Mechanical out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Got 70 plus reviews on Home Advisor, 4.8 star rating, 40 plus on Google, 5 stars. Got great reviews on Yelp and Facebook. We're happy to have him.
Welcome to the Battle Plan Marketing Podcast for Contractors. Get actionable advice and tactics on how to grow your home service company. Plus interviews with industry experts dropping value bombs in marketing, sales, and operations. And now, let's power up your home service biz with your host, Mark Ambrose of Battle Plan Marketing.
Welcome to the show, Brandon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. I'm excited to be on here, and let's get into it.
Yeah, cool beans. Well, we appreciate you coming on. All right, let's dive right in. So tell us what you do, who you do it for, where you do it.
Yeah, so we're out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We do anything residential, heating, cooling, plumbing, and drains. Our target demographic, realtors, homeowners, tenant, landlord, property management. We've done some work on some restaurants as well as some small commercial jobs as well. So anybody in a home or in a small building, that's our main category right there.
Nice. I like how you go in after realtors and property managers. So that's smart.
They're a good one. Realtors have been when we first started out, realtors are probably one of our main customers. So they've been great, especially when they get home inspections or for sewer scopes and different things like that. They've been huge for us.
Yeah, that's super important. For every home buyer out there should never purchase a home without a sewer inspection, camera inspection. Yeah. That regular home inspection does not cut it, right?
No, it doesn't. I mean, I've been doing this long enough that the home inspections don't really cover anything. They cover a hole in the wall or something like that, but they're never very specific as far as the mechanics of the house, heating, cooling, plumbing stuff. It's never very accurate when they call something out.
Yeah, 100%. It's really just a cursory look at really all systems, electrical, HVAC, plumbing for sure, and the sewer line. There's some nightmare stories I've heard myself from plumbing clients who, a home buyer just bought a house, didn't know, didn't inspect it, and now they've got a 5-figure sewer repair or reline or replacement job, right after they bought the house.
Those are your biggest costs of repairs is the mechanical systems and different things like that,
Yeah, 100%. So do you go to the local realtors groups and speak to them as a whole, or what's your marketing to the realtors there?
No, that's a great question. But basically, been doing this. I was in HVAC for a long time, and then I got a niche. I said, hey, I'm going to go get a real estate license. And when I got that, I just got involved and in touch with a lot of great people. And there's a guy good friend of mine, his name's Ramon, and he got me in touch with pretty much everybody.
Wow, that's brilliant. I like how you went and got your license there. There's also local associations of realtors. So the local, your town, Albuquerque Association of Realtors probably. And they have meetings, weekly or monthly meetings. And that might be something to go and speak to them. It's amazing how many realtors are unaware that the sewer line is a potential disaster for the home buyer. So, just food for thought. You might want to hit a meeting or two. Same for the listeners out there. Befriend a realtor like you already have and see if you can go talk to them and get some more, referral sources feeding you some leads.
Yes. And then that's when I was mentioning that a good friend of mine, Ramon Casals, got me involved with everybody because I had gotten that real estate license.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So the real estate license is brilliant. And I was pointing out to the audience that there's probably an Albuquerque Real Estate Association. All the agents go, weekly meetings, monthly meetings. So for the audience out there, your local realtors will have a local association. They have meetings weekly and monthly. It would behoove you to, if you know somebody, get in the door there, ask to speak about the importance of sewer inspections, and you could wind up with a whole bunch of people referring business to you. There's a lot of realtors out there that have no idea that the sewer inspection is so darn important. And there's probably one or two in that audience that have a horror story about a buyer who didn't do that.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely. We see them all the time. We've had homeowners call us after the fact and have us going camera drain. And we're like, well, did you guys get this camera or what happened here before?
Oh, man.
They never did. And sure enough, it's a crack and it's a big job. You got to break up concrete, different things like that.
That's a nightmare. Don't want to be on the buyer's end of that on a house.
No.
Yeah, crazy.
No.
So tell me, what got you into the plumbing business? What made you open your own business?
Yeah. So basically I've been doing this stuff for my entire life, really. I was a young kid and my dad had me involved in it. I ran a gas line with him. I ran a swamp cooler, or I installed a swamp cooler with him. I'm sorry. And, just growing up, I've always been like, well, what do I need to do? You got questions. There's so many different avenues to take. And since I was a young kid, that's what he always said. He's like, just do HVAC. It's always very simple and straight to the point. And I'd never really been involved in anything else besides this. Nice.
And so you worked for a bunch of companies and then you got the entrepreneur bug to do your own gig?
No, so I've actually only worked for 3 companies. And a big thing for me was I kind of like to move at a fast pace. I don't like the governor and ceilings that people try to put on you at times. So that was a big encouragement factor when I said I'm going to open up my own business, is just providing that platform for other people to grow, but for myself as well. I knew I wasn't going to get to where I wanted to unless I did this. So that's what kind of encouraged it.
Nice. I like it. Is there a particular service or customer type that you like to go after? Do you prefer those sewer line jobs or water heater jobs or anything you look?
No, well, split systems, of course, are a very lucrative thing. But anyone and anything, we've taken on so many different projects, all shapes and sizes of them, really. Some are small and some are big. We even tried to get into painting at one point. We've gotten a little crazy with it, but we're always looking for a new demographic or a way to scale.
There you go. Well, more money in the HVAC side than the plumbing side, would you say, or not?
No, it's pretty much split what we do now.
Because the plumbing is more repeat business and such?
Plumbing, I would say, is definitely more consistent. As you know, HVAC it's seasonal. It is seasonal. Right. So plumbing is much more consistent. But as far as work-wise, they're pretty much the same as far as what we do. We don't push one more than the other.
Gotcha. What would you say is one of the biggest ingredients to growing your business?
One of the biggest ingredients, I would say, is definitely overcommitting. And what I mean by that is, so a big thing for us is when we were just hiring people when we weren't even looking. Over the last 3 or 4 months, we've hired 5 people, which forces us to grow because now we have to cover that cost. We've bought brand new trucks. We've done things that are forcing us to grow and to get better and to cover cost. And that's been our biggest thing.
I like it. Turning the heat up on your own self.
Yeah, what's important is to hold yourself accountable in anything that you do. And if you commit, you got to deliver. So that's been our biggest.
I like it. What's your favorite part, do you think, of owning and running a business?
Watching people get better. My favorite part is definitely providing a platform for people to grow and be successful. So, I remember being the 19-year-old kid and I was sweeping a warehouse and would occasionally get field time. And it was always very frustrating to me. So definitely the biggest thing for me was, just providing that platform for people to get better. When people come on here, I want them to know that this is the place to be and they're going to become the best that they can be.
I like it. I saw I think it was on your Facebook page, maybe. I saw some training videos and it was like, training day, right? Weekly training day or something like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you did your research. Yeah. Yeah, so that's a big thing for us, definitely something we just started rolling out for the last few months, but teaching these guys how to be in front of a customer, how to take care of them, how to take care of the company and take care of themselves.
I like it. Do you bring in people for sales training also, or is it primarily focused on plumbing and HVAC training right now?
Primarily focused on HVAC and plumbing, but within this platform that we're on now, it does talk a lot about sales. And that's one thing that I would encourage anybody listening to this is to learn the sales game. That's once you learn how to sell, you'll never be without work. So once you get that down, you're going to be doing great. Yeah,
you have to distinguish yourself and be able to say why you're more expensive. You're not, you can't be all about just price and stuff. You'll lose that battle.
Exactly. Yep. And how to handle objections. It's always the price is always too high. It's never soon enough and different things like that. It's important to know how to handle that interaction with the customer.
Exactly. You mentioned a platform. Are you on some kind of sales and marketing platform right now, or?
It's called Profit Rocket. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Victor Rancour, but He's the one that runs it.
Nice.
The other big one that we've done is Grant Cardone. And
Oh, yeah.
Cardone University. A lot of the sales stuff that helped me grow is pretty much all from that. And really what's helped us grow as a whole company. You know, when we were trying to call for property managements, or when we have customers calling in, knowing how to set appointments, learning how to close an actual sale, different things like that.
Yeah, 100%. Those are great. I'm not familiar with the first one. I'm sorry. What was that called again? Profit what?
Profit Rocket.
Profit Rocket? Okay. I'll check it out. I am familiar with Grant Cardone, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the king out there. And we really added a real estate market. In fact, I have one of my plumbing clients right now for the last, 4 or 5 months. Him and his whole staff are taking the Grant Cardone sales training, and man, he's crushing it ever since. Yeah.
I can attest to it too. Like I said, when we had myself and Dominic, he's in the office, when we were calling property managements, having that foundation down was incredible. That was way ahead. Anytime we're dealing with customers and different things like that. Yeah,
that's awesome. How about what other kind of tools you guys use? You use CRM, customer database?
Yeah, yes, sir. We sure do. It's called Service Point Pro.
Nice.
It's been great. I'm not sure if you've heard of them. They're pretty new. So big company out here basically made another branch and created Service Point Pro, which is a huge CRM, and it's been great for us. It tracks the, numbers, cost percentages, gross percentages, all the different things like that.
Excellent. So you got your price book inside of that CRM as well?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Yep. Yeah. Nice. Nice. So the guys out in the field are not calling you every 10 minutes for a price on this, that, or the other thing?
Yeah. No, not most of the time. There's always a one-off job where they got a few questions, but it's not a problem. We take care of it.
Right. Nice. Nice. What would you say is the biggest challenge right now for your business and growing it into the future?
Yeah. So one of the biggest challenges we're a newer business. This is the start of our third year. So one of the biggest challenges I would say is, no one knows you yet. No one knows us yet. We're not a big company. We don't have a huge reputation. We don't have all the trucks, but that's definitely the biggest one is you're trying to build a brand and trying to get people aligned, trying to put in systems and processes. That is difficult, getting people aligned. Yeah.
Systems are hard to do. You're trying to go about your day, and at the same time, you're trying to establish, long-term systems that work, getting feedback by, your team or even your customers, hey, what could we have done better, to make your experience better?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Surveying your customers, pretty important too. And your team, hey, here's our system, but you got a way to make it better. We're not, it's not in concrete. We need your feedback.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, because one of the core values actually is just being transparent. And we always say it's an open door. And if you got an idea or a way that we need to figure out to do this better, bring it on. Let's see how we can make it work and make us all successful at doing it.
Great attitude, man. That's how you get better every day. If you get your ego in the way, we're all in trouble, right?
You got to throw that out the door if you ever try to run a business, if you ever try to run a team. The ego, I know, can get in the way sometimes, but you gotta get rid of it if you want to help people grow, because no one's going to be on board if they see that you're not willing to help them.
Yep. Good advice. Good advice. How about marketing? What's the worst marketing dollars you ever spent, would you say?
Yeah. So the worst one I've ever done was when I first started. So we hadn't even officially launched yet, but we were just getting everything going. So I bought this marketing platform for it was $8,000. And basically what it was is we got third-party leads, and this guy would run bots for us on LinkedIn. And I think we got one deal out of it. And it was,
oh man,
it was very difficult. I didn't know any better at the time, and I was just willing to go for it. So I did. And, you live and you learn. But that was absolutely the one that I was like, this was a mistake.
Yeah. Well, it was pricey, but it was cheaper than college, right? So
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
The school of hard knocks, as they say.
School of hard knocks. Nobody's got 100% win. The best baseball players are 300 or above, right? So
there you go.
That's only 1 out of 3, man. So it's all good. How about the best? You mentioned trucks. Do you guys wrap your trucks or magnets or anything like that?
Yeah. No. We wrap them all.
Yeah. Nice. That's really good advertising right there.
It's free advertisement at that point.
Yeah.
The initial cost, but after that, it's free. The more trucks you have on the street, the more eyes you see, or the more eyes that see the trucks.
Exactly. The neighbors are out there seeing your truck out there working on somebody's house and stuff. It's or just driving around. It's a moving billboard. So
Exactly. And we've gotten quite a few of those calls too. People call in and say, "Hey, we just saw you guys driving by. Do you guys do furnaces or whatever the call may be?" And
good idea. I don't know if you guys did it, but it's a good idea to throw a tracking phone number just for the truck wraps on the truck wrap. So now you could track, phone calls that come in just from the trucks.
Correct. No, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's hard to think of, but for guys out there who are just starting and thinking about wrapping your truck, go get yourself a separate tracking number and put that number on the truck. And now you'll be able to track, what the trucks themselves are bringing in. But they're way worth it. Even if you're not tracking it, they definitely perform for you.
Absolutely. And just to sing the name, it's like people just see it. I mean, that's what's important. They may not call you in that moment, but if they see enough of your trucks, if they got a leak in the house, the first thing they're going to think of is what they've seen the most, the subconscious marketing stuff.
Exactly. Subconscious marketing. I like it. How about, do you run lead gen at all? So Google Ads, Yelp, Home Advisor, Nextdoor, any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah. So a big thing for us this year is to be omnipresent. It means we're trying to be everywhere. So I could tell you, to answer your question specifically, we are running sponsored Google Ads right now. We've always ran Yelp. We're running things on Instagram. We're running Facebook. And we have a neighborhood app out here called Nextdoor. And that one's been huge for us. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with that one.
Yeah.
That one's been massive.
Yeah, that thing's booming, actually. Nextdoor's.
And Yelp.
Yelp ads are good. Yep.
Anybody listening to, I would highly recommend Yelp. So interesting enough that we're talking about it, we actually just closed a job with Paramount today, the movie company.
Really?
So, and they found us on Yelp. So I went out there the other day, gave a quote, and we came to an agreement on it. So it was just interesting.
That's awesome, man.
That you're bringing that up. Because Yelp has been huge.
Yeah. I see you guys posting on Facebook pretty regularly. I didn't hit your Instagram, but I also see it on Google Business Profile, what they call it now. You got somebody or yourself is posting on there every week or so. So those are really good, especially that Google. So for listeners out there, your Google profile, your business profile allows you to post. You can put specials. You can there's 3 or 4 different kinds of posts. Really good to post regularly on there. It'll help boost up your rankings in Google Maps itself.
Absolutely. Now that's a big part of the overcommitting part too, because you're paying for it. So Google sponsored ads, they can be expensive, but it's part of, it's just part of the commitment part. You got to commit because now you have to cover the lead costs.
Yeah, 100%. Do you do that internally, or you got an agency helping you there, or?
We have an agency from here in Albuquerque that does it.
There you go. Nice.
And they've done a very good job for us. I can't complain.
Yeah, good.
They send us like weekly updates about how our website's performing, everything, reviews, how many clicks we've had on Facebook. They send us everything.
Sweet. I like the website, by the way. Really good job. Good colors, good layout. I love how all the communications are up on top. So really good. So for listeners out there, they can look at NCB, again, November Charlie Bravo, mechanical.com. Super good template to use to create your own site out there.
Yeah, that would be some other advice as well, is we kept our website very simple. So as you've seen, it's just a single page. When I was getting started, there was a few people that just got crazy with ideas, and I just didn't want anything crazy. We just needed something simple. No one really wants to search your website that much. So just keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Yep. As time goes on, SEO, creating blog articles and stuff like that might be something that you look at. As a long-term investment, it does not produce return right away. It takes 6 months, 18 months to start producing. But, once you get over the years, you get 50, 100 articles on your blog, starts bringing in traffic. It'll boost your website and your Google Maps for local rankings, even just for, I like to tell clients to create, so if you want water heater business, you go out, you create 5 articles related to water heaters. How big a water heater do I need? Tank versus tankless, so on and so forth. You link them to your water heater page, and now you're powering up your water heater service pages.
Yep, absolutely. But
it is an investment. It doesn't produce ROI right off the bat, so it's a long-term investment.
Pretty much most marketing seems to be, that. Unless you're doing direct leads like Angie's List, which is, it's pretty much a love-hate relationship with Angie's List. So.
Yeah. Everybody has a love-hate with Angie's List Home Advisor. So yeah, but
it's hit or miss.
Hit or miss, yeah. Your Google search ads and your Yelp ads are bringing in leads immediately. That's an immediate ROI.
100%. Those are the most important. And then again, is anybody that has the Nextdoor app, that is.
Yeah, that too. Right. Exactly. So those keep your trucks rolling. How about the existing clients, Brandon? You guys do any staying connected? So email or text marketing or direct mail to past clients?
Yeah. So we pretty much actually just rolled that out.
Nice.
And that's what it is consistent emails. We just rolled out a maintenance agreement as well.
Oh,
so that keeps us in houses and in touch with the customer and pretty much kind of almost like locks them in with you, at least for the year. As long as you do your part, it's a great service to provide.
That's awesome, man. I love hearing that. Yeah, those are probably the two most important things to do for the longevity of your company, because we got no control of Google ads and Yelp ads. The cost of these things are going to keep going up and up and up. And eventually, sometimes they become ridiculous, like, I don't know. You guys get into leak detection and stuff like that?
No leak detection. There's a good friend of ours that actually does leak detection. So he's nice enough that when he has it, and if it's a slab leak or something like that, he usually kicks it to us and we get it handled.
Yeah. Some of those keywords on Google search ads can be crazy expensive for water damage, leak detection.
Yeah, but I would love to get into leak detection. I think that's a great service to provide. And especially if you can do it all in-house. You're charging for a leak search, which is one job, and then you're charging for the other job, which is a separate job. So you can, you know what I mean? You're getting both sides of it.
We love it. We love it on our end. Our plumbers love it. Trying to get one of my plumbers to create a training class on it, actually. So maybe 6 months, 12 months from now, we'll have something we launch. Because what he did was he went out and got IICRC certified as a water damage mitigation certification. And he opened up a separate company to do that, right? So he goes in, he does the leak detection. They contact the insurance. So they don't stop there. If there's damage, only if there's damage, they contact the insurance with the homeowner there. Insurance usually wants to send out their own plumber and mitigation company, but they say, hey, we handle it right here. So now you get paid out here in California, you get paid about $450 for the locate and cap. The leak.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Where did you guys get the service from? Or where did you guys get the certificate from?
There's a organization, IICRC. So you can just Google that.
Okay.
I forget what the hell it stands for. But that's the national certification for water damage mitigation. And then also they have a separate one for restoration. You don't really want to get in the restoration business. That's general contractor crap and a nightmare. But the mitigation, man, is unbelievable. So here again, so they'll pay for the cap, right? Locating cap. If you got continuous floors, wood or tile floors, they don't want you jackhammering the floor up in a slab concrete or concrete slab. So they'll pay to reroute the leaking line. So there's another whatever, $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. Now what he does is he brings in his mitigation company. You got to invest in equipment. So he's got the certification. He's got a bunch of dryers, dehumidifiers, stuff that seals off the room or the part of the room that's all wet. And then they come in, they cut out all the wet materials. They seal it off. They put in the dryers and dehumidifiers and they leave, and they come back every few days and test with water meters to see if it's all dried out. And once it is, then and all that is 100% covered by most insurance companies. So the cap, the reroute, and the mitigation. And that mitigation part there is so simple. It's way simpler than your reroute.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You're going to get paid as much or more than your reroute and your cap just for the mitigation side. And then you bring in the restoration. So, there's a time lag on the money, right? Insurance companies are in there.
Correct.
So that they might pay you in 60 or 90 days or something. Well, actually, they're going to pay the homeowner in most cases, and the homeowner pays you. But you even get to waive any deductible if there is one usually, because there's huge margins on the mitigation side.
Yeah, so I could totally see it. There's just so many steps to it. There's so many different areas that you can grab and touch. So I can totally see how that could be lucrative.
It's just one profit center. Drain cleaning, throwing a camera down there, doing sewer jobs. That could be just a living right there. It's all kinds of little carve outs you can make in your business.
Exactly.
Pretty awesome. But I love how you're doing the VIP or, annual service agreement. So that's good.
Yep.
That keeps you top of mind. You're in their place. Where do you go once a year, maybe do a inspection or something like that?
Yeah, no. So ours is 4. It's if you have a swamp cooler, I should say.
Oh, okay.
So you get plumbing, you get heating, and you get cooling. So I apologize. 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
3 visits.
Spring, fall, and then, of course, plumbing you could do whenever.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So no matter what comes up, you're getting that call on the plumbing or HVAC side. That's beautiful.
Exactly.
They're not going to a competitor. Putting a sticker, which we all should do anyway, put a sticker on all the equipment we replace and stuff like that. But,
yeah.
Having that service agreement, well, it gives you a monthly recurring revenue, right? So maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that could be pretty significant revenue.
Exactly. And part of that is, so you don't really make so much revenue on the front end. You make revenue on the back end when these guys are in the house and actually looking for things that they need, that the customer could use. You know what I mean? Exactly. But when you're selling a service agreement for $250, you're not gonna become rich off of $250 a call. No. But these guys can make money and take care of the customer properly when they're able to really do a 360 of the house and the full plumbing system and all that stuff.
Yeah, 100%. You're right. You're probably not going to make money. There'll be just cash flow coming. But you're right. It's gonna uncover jobs, and X% of those houses are going to need work each and every year. And you're the guy there. I love it. You said also an email newsletter or something going out too?
Yeah, it's just an email, whether we're running whatever we're doing at the time, $70 water heater inspection, $75 furnace inspection, whatever that is, we throw it out there.
I like it. We just, with one of our clients there, we started a holiday email series, right? So one for each month. And then in each one of those holiday emails is an offer, right? So here's an offer on a plumbing inspection. Or a reminder. So here it's time to flush your water heater or descale, time to inspect the drains, these kinds of things. So those
anything you can do to stay top of mind is what you need to be doing.
Yeah, I like it, man. You're all over it.
Yeah, we try, but even the people we have running our Instagram right now, I tell them it doesn't matter whose it is. Start liking pictures, start congratulating people when they're selling houses or whatever it is, but everything. Nice. Just try to always be top of mind.
I like it, man. That's great. Yeah, social media. Most of us are not giant fans of it, but it is the platform to market on. People out there like Gary Vee and stuff, run gigantic media companies and trying to tell Fortune 500 companies, nobody's looking at the billboard. I heard him talking, he's like, okay, so you're paying for a billboard on the freeway. And he goes, there's 4 people in a car, one person's driving. Maybe they see the billboard, maybe not. What do you think the other 3 people? Most of them are on their damn phones.
Yeah. Yep. So, and pretty much my whole age demographic is on their phone. Yeah. We're kind of like part of that boom. So it's been huge for us, to be honest. Every time I post on something, someone responds. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah. You even share your reviews on there. And an occasional DIY tip, and that kind of stuff. Share your team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw your stuff on Facebook. It's awesome, man. I like, and you're branding it too. I like how you're putting your logo on a lot of those images and stuff like that. So hats off to you.
Yep. Thank you. But that's part of it. Your logo has to be what people think of. So
yeah, you want to brand yourself today. I just discovered I was super wrong about something. I used to think that the service industry was immune from corporate takeover, right? It was like the one area where blue collar work would survive, and these giant guys Wall Street's not going to move in and take over.
Not no more.
Man, I'm dead wrong. Yeah. So, my last interview, I found out, so there's a company out here, in California, Next Gen Heating and Air.
Yep, with Ismail.
Yeah, Ismail. There you go. Sold that sucker for $200 million, something like that.
Yeah, huge right now.
Huge. And then A1 Garage Door.
Yep, Tommy Mello.
Tommy Mello. And by the way, everybody should follow Tommy Mello's podcast. Damn, I forget the name of it. Home Service Millionaire or something like that. Mello, Tommy Mello. So he started a garage door company. Same thing about 7-10 years ago, maybe. And then he made it locally. He grew it really nicely. And then he started buying all these little local, all in something like 25 states. He created a massive training center. He just sold that company for something like $1 billion.
Which was the biggest home service sale ever.
Ever. Private equity money came in. So these guys are coming in. So let's fast forward, like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 years. And Wall Street owns these kind of companies all over the place.
Yeah.
So last week I interviewed a plumbing company, out in Oceanside. The guy's name's escaping me right now, Bob Mueller. And he was like, yeah, these guys are going to be stealing all your best guys because they'll have great benefits, better pay, better equipment, better trucks. They'll have better everything. And so in 15 or 20 years, it's going to be really hard to be a little local guy competing against some of these giants, that have never really been there in anybody's market before.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's becoming a big deal with them stepping in. And I think they finally just realized how lucrative a business it is. People that don't know don't understand that it's a very lucrative business. So these big guys that come in, they know what the profit margins are. They know what they can tap into and get. So
yeah,
it's just going to get more and more.
And then they can leverage that, right? They can buy supply
they have all the equity.
Cheaper. Yeah, they can buy cheaper than the rest of everybody else of their competitors. So yeah, it's crazy, man. So you're doing the right thing is what I'm pointing out. Branding yourself, making yourself available on all social, leaving no stone unturned, so to speak, and just really making your brand notice in your local market. That's how, you're going to get that phone call someday. Private equity is going to call you and, yo, Brandon, we want to talk.
And I'm going to tell them they got the wrong number. This is homegrown grassroots.
There you go. Well, you're doing the right thing to pivot and be able to compete, right? So you make yourself branded locally, and you definitely can still compete with those guys, but not if you don't do all those things, right?
Correct. Kind of like what you said. I think here in 10 years or so, it's going to be very, very difficult to be a startup company, like incredibly difficult. Based off of what you're saying, you're either going to be a well-established business that isn't going to do private equity, or you're going to sell out to private equity because why wouldn't you for $200 million? So, you know what I mean? I think here in 10 years it'd be very difficult because no startup company just has the capital that these guys have. So why is someone going to sacrifice to come on with you, Yeah,
it's absolutely. And you won't have, you won't be able to offer benefits and all that stuff coming out of the gate. And so, it's going to be super tough. Yeah. Or at least to get the best guys, It won't be impossible, but it's going to be a whole hell of a lot tougher, man.
Nothing's impossible. It'll be much more difficult.
Yeah, way more difficult. All right, let's see. What would you say? What's your favorite part of running the business, would you say?
Still just, providing a platform for people. Like I mentioned before, I remember I didn't really get much of an opportunity coming up. So it's always been important for me to watch people grow and help them grow, have them be at not just a job, but a career and a place that they can see their future in as well. That's always been extremely important to me.
That's awesome, man. Helping other people succeed. Yeah, I did ask that earlier. I'm sorry, but you expanded on a little bit better this time. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
What advice, Brandon, would you give somebody who is just starting right now?
The best advice I could give anyone would be to be patient. So it takes time to put systems in place. It takes time to put processes in place. It takes time to get trucks. It takes time to get the right CRM and all these things. And that was my biggest area that I needed to grow in, is that I needed to understand that it took patience. It wasn't just going to happen overnight. Techs need to be trained up correctly, all these different things.
I like it. Well, you've done a lot in 2-3 years, I would say, man. So I speak to a lot of guys. They're still struggling, sometimes after 10 or 15. And so hats off to you, man.
We've been able to get around we have an incredible team here. These guys have always stepped up and handled business. So, it takes a village, as they say, but I couldn't be happier with the group that we got right now.
Nice. Way to go. What kind of resources would you recommend to somebody starting up too? So Grant Cardone and your Profit Rocket?
Yeah, those different resources. I think most importantly, though, you need a network. People need to know you. People need to know what you're doing. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, if you're at the bar watching a game. People need to know what direction you're going in. That's what's going to help you be successful. You'd be almost kind of skipping steps if you just jump straight to the Grant Cardone stuff. You need to build a network. You need to get around people that know you, and just say it again, know what you're trying to do.
You need to get network. Yeah, local networking. You can do the social on your own coming out of the gate. You don't have to have an agency. So certain things, you can do yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So just use Facebook. Hey, I'm about to open up an HVAC business. Would love to work with you. Your first call, I'm going to do it for free. People are going to share it. That's what you need to do. Then you need to learn how to close the deal. You need to market first and then close the deal second. So
yeah, and get your pricing right. What was that like for you, getting your price book together?
That's a great question. It was incredibly difficult. I'll say that. So we started in November of 2020. With that being said, first of all, you're in the middle of a pandemic, talking about inflation. Then you're talking about chip shortages. The cost of equipment skyrocketed. So that was huge for us. I think we've gone up. So we did a 4-ton split system. We're doing another one now. We've gone up almost $3,500 in 3 years. And we're you know what I mean? We're a smaller company, but that's been huge for us. That was difficult. Still is.
Yeah. It ain't easy, and good for you for staying on top. Not only is it not easy to put the price book together, but that it's hard to keep it up with current numbers, pricing.
Absolutely. And there's certain margins we have to hit, and that's something we've been harping on a lot lately is profit percentage and different things like that, because it gets chopped up 20 times before it's finally done. You have truck costs, you have marketing costs, you have employment costs, you have all these different things. So we've really harped on our percentages lately.
Yeah, that's great. There's a book out there I read a while back last year or so, Profit First for Contractors. You heard of that at all? I forget that guy's name. Sean, I can't remember his name. Profit First there's 2 books actually. One's called Profit First, and then Sean, I believe his name is, created a takeoff of it, Profit First for Contractors, which basically tells you, when that revenue comes in, basically open up 5 bank accounts. One's taxes, one's profit, so on and so forth. And you best be taking 15, 20% and taking it out, putting it into the tax account, another one into the profit account, and the rest, you're left with 55 or so % for running your business.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're lucky, if you're running it correctly, so.
Yeah. If you can't pay Uncle Sam, you're in trouble every quarter or every year, however you file. And
everyone wants a little bit. Yeah, everyone wants a piece of what you got.
They do. And if you're not making a profit, then just close the damn business and go to work for somebody else. Life is a lot easier, right? So
it is. That's a very underrated thing that, just a lot of people don't know is it looks great and it sounds great. Say, I have a business and I run a business, but it's extremely expensive that not very many people understand that, I should say, on the front end. When you first start, I didn't. I know I could say that. I did not.
Right. You just think it's time and materials, but no, you got trucks and insurance and, maybe offices and
Workman's comp. Truck maps, gas.
Yeah. It adds up fast, man. And if you're not watching it,
direct deposits are charged. You know what I mean? Everything. Whatever you see out of business, they cost.
Yeah, exactly. Annual review with your CPA or accountant is a good thing too. Make sure, hey, we're not bleeding this year,
Yes. I probably bug mine. I call her where are we at? What do I need to do? What do I have to work with at the end of the year? Am I good to get this? Constant communication with them because they know the game and you got to learn it too.
Exactly. It is a numbers game. It's a math game. We're in the profit game. Profit and loss game, potentially.
Correct.
And we're in the sales game. And then, no matter what business you're in, those are your 2 primary businesses or factors of your business. So
you got to make a profit.
Yeah. The plumbing and HVAC and, whatever from my side, marketing, that's the 3rd thing in the line, right?
Yep.
You got to know what you're doing in the other 2 first.
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. Great discussion. Any questions, if you were in my shoes, I should have asked you, Brandon?
No, I think you did a great job, to be honest. You kind of covered everything. You kind of cover where you start, where you're at, where you're going, everything. So
I like it. Where can listeners, so if we got some Albuquerque plumbers out there or HVAC technicians, where can they, or just clients who need some work, where can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So of course our website, NCB Mechanical. And then I'm all over Facebook, and Instagram. Both are at Brandon Saiz. Instagram is Brandon_Saiz_NCB. So I'm on there a lot.
Beautiful. I appreciate that. A million thanks, Brandon, for coming on the show, sharing your time and expertise with us. We appreciate it.
It was great, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Brandon. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks to our listeners out there for sharing their time and attention with us. If you like what you heard, please rate, review, subscribe to our podcast so you get notified of future episodes. Feel free to share this one on your social channels. Good luck out there and create a great day.
Thanks for listening to the Battle Plan Marketing Podcast. To power up your home service business, for show notes, visit battleplanmarketing.com/podcast. If you enjoyed our show, please share it on social. Until next time.